The size and living conditions of prisons nowadays vary greatly and are frequently correlated with the types of criminals they imprison. There may be nice beds, access to private restrooms, and recreational and rehabilitative programs in minimum security prisons, both domestically and internationally. But there are also prisons at the other end of the scale, where inmates face serious violence risks, inadequate medical care, and excessive overcrowding. In this video, we will look at some of the worst prisons in the world. But before that, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for more amazing content. Now, let's get started. Number 9. Black Dolphin Prison, Russia. The Black Dolphin Prison, also known as Penal Colony No. 6, is situated close to the Kazakhstan-Russia border. It only houses the most violent and dangerous convicted criminals in the nation, including Chechen terrorists, cannibals, pedophiles, and serial murderers. The dolphin sculpture made by the prisoners and placed on the grass in front of the jail reception gave the area its name. Guards patrol the facility every 15 minutes, and video monitoring is used to monitor the prisoners around the clock. Each 50-square-foot cell has 2 inmates allocated to it, and it is protected from guards and other inmates by 3 sets of steel doors. Only 90 minutes a day are allotted for prisoners to spend outside of their cells, in a desolate concrete exercise yard. To prevent them from learning the layout of the prison, interacting with other inmates, or overwhelming the guards, they are handcuffed, blindfolded, and made to walk with their heads bowed whenever they are transferred anywhere inside the facility. Black Dolphin is thought to be the only one who uses this method. Number 8. Kamiti Maximum Security Prison, Kenya. The worst prison in Kenya is considered to be the Kamiti Maximum Security Prison, which is located in the Roysambu constituency. It was constructed in 1954 by the British to hold criminals during a state of emergency established in October of 1952, and it was designed after an outdated colonial system. The old gallows in Kamiti are still in place, but the last execution there took place in 1987. The prison's declared capacity is 1,200, but sources say there are between 1,800 and 2,500 people squeezed within. The surroundings are unclean. Serious illnesses like gonorrhea, syphilis, TB, HIV and AIDS, and dysentery are widespread. Although Kamiti was previously notorious for harboring political prisoners and carrying out hanging executions, its notoriety increased in 2008 after a disturbance caused by a drug search was caught on camera and shown on television. In 2021, when 3 convicted terror suspects managed to escape, it grabbed headlines once more. Later, 7 wardens were detained for aiding their escape. Number 7. Terre Haute, USA. There are maximum security, medium security, and low security units in this Indiana prison complex. The Boston bomber, Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, who is currently facing execution, is imprisoned in Terre Haute, often known as Guantanamo North. The execution chamber for the U.S. federal government is in Terre Haute. In 2008, the ACLU charged Terre Haute with having grossly inadequate conditions in its special confinement unit, which houses prisoners on death row. It claimed that the inmates were denied access to medical treatment and mental health services, and that the prison's excessive loudness deprives them of sleep. Terre Haute had the most COVID-19 cases in the federal prison system in January of 2021, including death row inmates. Since U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland declared the Department of Justice would reconsider its position on death penalty on July 1, 2021, federal executions at Terre Haute have been put on hold. Number 6. San Quentin State Prison, USA. San Quentin is famed for its ferocity and is the oldest prison in California. Numerous notorious criminals have called it home, including Robert F. Kennedy's killer, Sirhan Sirhan, Scott Peterson, and Charles Manson. It housed California's only gas chamber, in addition to the state's only death row institution, which housed more than 700 death row convicts and was the largest facility in the country. 3 years after the governor of California put an end to executions in the state, the state began the process of closing the death row and moving the inmates in early 2022. Over time, especially in the 1960s and 1970s, San Quentin developed a reputation for corruption and racial disturbances that the guards actively encouraged. Number 5. Mendoza Prison, Argentina. Mendoza Prison in Argentina has a population that is almost 3 times the maximum allowed. Convicts are forced to sleep on the floor without beds in cells that are only 43 square feet in size and can hold up to 5 inmates. In a 2005 study, Amnesty International said that the situation was so dire that some prisoners in Mendoza had to close their mouths to express their desire for improved living conditions. The conditions during the period were so bad that detainees were subjected to torture and occasionally even death. Number 4. Gildani Prison, Georgia. Georgia's habit of torturing prisoners by guards attracted attention from around the world in 2012, following a scandal at the Gildani prison in Tbilisi. A 35-year-old former prison guard who turned whistleblower captured videos of numerous violations, including rape and assaults. Major demonstrations were prompted by the recordings across the nation, and the treatment of prisoners there has since undergone a real change. Although conditions in the country's prisons have improved over the past 10 years, Gildani Prison is once again in the news as the scene of demonstrations brought on by Mikhail Saakashvili's detention. Despite the fact that there are both pro- and anti-Saakashvili release protesters, the circumstance is drawing attention to the facility's prominence and reputation. Number 3. United States Penitentiary, Administrative Maximum Facility, ADX, USA. The most high-security jail in the US is also known as ADX Florence, Florence ADX, Supermax, or the Alcatraz of the Rockies. Inmates at this 1994-built institution include Ten Kaczynski, the Unabomber, Ramzi Yousef, who was responsible for the 1993 World Trade Center bombing, and Zacarias Moussaoui, who was engaged in the 9/11 attacks. Inmates at this facility are kept in their 7 by 12-foot concrete cells for 23 hours a day in solitary confinement. Small gaps in the metal doors of the cells serve as the only windows, and inmates are fed through these slots. During the 1-hour leisure session, prisoners are permitted to leave their cells, but they are taken to a small outdoor cage while wearing various restraints. Former warden Robert Hood famously called the facility a clean version of hell. Number 2. Camp 14 Gaechun, North Korea. A 60-square-mile prison complex known as Camp 14 and Gaechun is located close to the center of North Korea. Camp 14 was reportedly constructed in 1959, close to the country's center, some 40 miles north of Pyongyang, according to reports by the U.S. Department of State. With a capacity of 15,000 inmates, Camp 14 is regarded as a political prisoner camp. As a result of being enemies of the state, they are currently serving life sentences. Here, prisoners are constantly starved and made to work as slaves in agriculture, mining, and the textile industry. Additionally, Camp 14 has a 3 generations of punishment policy, which means that many of its inmates are there simply because they are related to someone who has been charged with a crime. As a result, it's likely they will pass away there without ever having committed a crime. Number 1. Gitarama Prison, Rwanda. Gitarama, the most crowded jail in the world, is home to more than 7,000 inmates in a space designed to house only 400. The majority of the prisoners are thought to be responsible for the 1994 genocide in Rwanda. The men and women living here are forced to stand barefoot on the soiled ground for the entirety of the day because of the tremendous overcrowding, which causes their feet to rot. Many end up needing amputations, but with just one full-time physician assigned to the prison, the majority of inmates are unable to obtain the care they require, leading to half a dozen fatalities every day. That's it, guys. Within every facility, there is typically a complete social hierarchy, and those at the bottom suffer the consequences. If you liked the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Leave a like, share with your friends and families, and jot down your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.